Welcome to the Thriving Soulpreneur Podcast. This is a space where we talk about human design, spirituality, and neuroscience, all applied to business and money. My purpose is to help struggling solopreneurs to run sustainable businesses, to become financially resilient, and to create powerful change within their communities and beyond. I am your host, Andrea Niño de Guzman, a numbers girl and neuro geek who left the corporate world to do what she does best, to catalyze transformations. I am thrilled and honored to have you here, and I really hope to serve you in the best way possible. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this new episode of the Thriving Soulpreneur Podcast. As always, it's great to have you here. It's been a while since my last episode. I don't know, a few weeks, 2-3 weeks, maybe. I think whenever I get these cues to create new things, to download, I get these downloads or these phases of creativity. I kind of forget everything that's going on around me and I just focus on what I want to create. And literally, I've been eating and sleeping and thinking and dreaming about this new tool that I am creating. It's a business recalibration canvas. It's amazing, perfect for anyone who is in the business of service, who wants to build an aligned business. I think it's going to be a really, really good asset for everyone. So that's where my mind has been. That's where my time has been, besides being with my kids, festivities, the holidays. I had a half marathon yesterday, so I've been training for that. Got injured on the way. I'm probably going to read about it in my feed. And now I'm in bed, and I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow actually to see what actually is going on with me because I'm in a lot of pain. That's the news on my end. But I'm not here to talk about me. I'm here to talk about us and the coaching industry and how you are showing up in your business. And I am here to be of service. So I have a topic prepared today that I've been observing for a while, and I've been meaning to talk about it, but I just never had the chance. And I feel like now is the time. And it's something that I've been observing in the coaching space. And it's that we invest in these very talented, very experienced coaches, right? Whether it's a business coach, somebody that, tells you or shows you how to leverage social media or to write copy or create funnels or craft offers or whatnot. These are very talented individuals who share with us their framework, who tells us what to do, the steps that we need to follow. They tell us they encourage us to take massive action, and they basically lay out the plan for us to execute. And then something happens that we just don't do it. And it's not because, we're stupid. It's not because we don't understand the task on hand. Quite the opposite. If this has happened to you, you know that you want to do it. You know how to do it. But there's just something bigger that's stopping you. And you just can't, for some reason, you just don't take action. Or you're just not able to. And the question is why? What's going on? And I've been in this situation many times where I was so prepared. I had all the information, but I just wasn't moving forward. I wasn't taking any action at all. Instead, I was just stalling. So the reason why this is happening is because the action that you're being encouraged to take, or the plan that you're being encouraged to implement, goes against the programming of your subconscious mind. So in essence, your subconscious mind is trying to keep you, quote unquote, safe. And it's preventing you from doing this thing that is new because it probably doesn't know the outcome of what's going to happen. So for your subconscious mind, it's more like you're going down you're going to kill yourself. Don't do this. So it tries to keep you in the safe mode. Or it's because it goes against a belief that you have. An ingrained belief of who you are, of how life is supposed to work, right? So how does this show up? And let me know if any of this resonates. But it shows up, for example, whenever you're enrolled in a program and you focus more of your time on learning, on acquiring more information, on getting another certification, but it's always learning. And you feel that you have to go through all the modules, that you have to learn to have all the information before you start implementing. That's one way that your subconscious mind is holding you back, right? Protecting you. It shows up, for example, when you spend weeks and weeks on the tech side, of a specific strategy, maybe like researching different platforms and programs and taking tutorials on how to program it, or writing or editing all the content, all the copy, but you never put something out, right? Or you are behind the scenes implementing and tweaking things and perfecting them, and playing with the font and the colors, again with the messaging and the buttons and the layout and finding the perfect picture. It's always like with this essence of it's not ready. So because it's not fully ready or it's not perfect, it's not worthy of putting it out there. And again, what happens? You stay hiding. Or it shows up when kind of like life begins to get in the way, and all of a sudden you are too busy to follow the program. You are too busy to be on the calls. There's so much going on. You can't implement anything. And then all of a sudden you're procrastinating, you're delaying things. And again, nothing gets done. Or it shows up when you tell yourself, or maybe you share with others that stuff like, oh, I'm going to start working on it as soon as, right? As soon as I finish this, as soon as my children do that, as soon as something else happens. So when you condition yourself, you condition your action to some other big event that may take months, sometimes may take years. Again, that's your subconscious mind holding you back. So I'm guessing you get the picture with all these scenarios coming up. So what can you do about it? What can you do when you find yourself in a situation like the ones that I described before? And there are two things that I'm going to talk about. So thing number one is what you can do about it is focus on the smallest possible action. And this is especially true if, for example, you're a non-sacral being, speaking on human design terms. So if you're a projector, if you're a manifester, if you are a reflector, and you've been conditioned to believe that you need to work hard, that you need to power through, that you need to accomplish a lot in a little time. If there's any conditioning around your worth being attached to how much you accomplish or your results, the best thing to do is to focus on the smallest action possible. And even if you are a sacral being, same thing applies. Focus on the smallest thing. Because here's what happens. You may feel overwhelmed about everything that needs to happen. And then you don't know where to point, where to put your focus on. Or there's so much going on. It's triggering all these past memories, all these, stuck emotions in you, that it causes you to focus on the wrong things, or to just, again, feel overwhelmed and not know where to start. So when you narrow it down, you make it easy and digestible for you to start taking these small step, places. And I am noticing that you might feel a greater need for this, especially for this week. This is as of November 28-ish, because that's when the sun starts transiting gate 9 in the I Ching and in your quantum, your human design chart. And this gate 9 in quantum human design is called the gate of convergence. And it's an energy that teaches you to see the big picture, but also to understand what the next step is. So there's this flexibility of, you see the big picture, you also see the trees, and you don't get overwhelmed by either of them, right? And when this energy is in the shadow, it can be experienced as feeling overwhelmed, as seeing, everything that you need to do and not know really where to start, or feeling like you're never going to get there. For example, with these 100K goals, they seem so far away, so far-fetched that it becomes incredibly overwhelming. And you start, pointing into different directions, because if that big goal is, one, it seems impossible for you, and two, it seems hard, and it may trigger other past emotions around your worth, around, how much you trust yourself, around your courage or your decisiveness and whatnot. So that's the essence of when you have these big goals. break them down into these very easy, manageable action steps that you can know. They're so tiny that it's like a no-brainer you can take, right? They're just tiny, tiny, tiny actions. And this is something that you can apply when you're feeling overwhelmed in your business, when you are, working through your finances, when you feel overwhelmed with your finances, with end of the year planning or start of the year planning, when you're thinking about launching a program, basically whenever you find yourself procrastinating and you want to move away from that. So this is a really great hack on focusing on the tiniest next step possible. And then once that's completed, then you focus on the next tiniest thing and so on. I personally use this a lot for my business. Well, I don't have gate 9 defined in my chart. Because it's, I have that gate open, I've been able to experiment with different ways of doing this. Like, how do I keep myself focused on both the forest and the trees? And in my process of experimentation, what I realized and what's working for me right now is to focus on one big thing to accomplish each day. Because what I used to do is I used to carry like 5 big things that needed to happen each day. And of course, life got in the way, my kids got in the way, everything got in the way. And at most if I got one thing done, that was like a huge deal. But then that led to a lot of guilt because I had four other remaining items that weren't completed. And then the next day I had another 5. So then that means I had like 10 things that I needed to do. And it just kept on building up and building up and building up. And that made me feel even more guilty. It triggered even more shame, around how I was running my business. And so what I decided, and then what I realized through experimentation, is that if I just focus on one thing, one main thing, and then I dissect that into small tasks, then my brain is happy. My brain is happy because I'm moving forward. So as I'm dissecting this into like small actionable tasks, I actually have a visual of the stuff that I'm completing. So I feel that I'm moving forward. It helps my business because I'm implementing things that are aligned with what I want to achieve. I feel that I see that I have less distractions because I'm in a way like very focused on the 3 or 5 little things that I need to do in that day. And just the action of checking things off really feels good. I know there's some studies around, some chemicals, like feel good hormones that are released when you check things off. So that's how I start working with my brain and how I start working with my subconscious. So something that you could do, for example, is, one of those big things that you can accomplish each day is like, for example, Monday, we're creating content for the week. And then you dissect that in tiny, tiny steps into like, I create content for day 1. That's action number 1. Action number 2 is I post content of day 1. Action number 3 is I create content for day 2. I post content for day 2, stuff like that. So it's very, very, very tiny, tiny, tiny steps. Other big things that could be, dissected into smaller tasks is, for example, tasks that you need to do with your clients, like emailing or sending them recordings or, uploading a platform, writing copy for a sales page. Again, you can dissect that into, today I'm just crafting the outline. And then I'm just going to focus on one topic. The next day I'm going to focus on topic number 2. So that's another way that you can make it this more manageable. So that's my suggestion, my number 1 suggestion. Suggestion 1, not the number 1. Suggestion 1 for how to deal with this energy when you are feeling overwhelmed by the big picture and you don't know where to focus on. And now the second thing that I'm going to talk about is something more permanent. And this is all about working on your beliefs. Because like I mentioned before, your beliefs are what influence how you perceive a certain situation, how you perceive the task. And your beliefs are triggered and they are built on, stuff that happened to you in the past. So maybe if right now you are feeling like you're creating a new offer, or that you're planning your business for 2023 and it feels like this gigantic monumental task, or even you're going through your finances and you have no idea how you're going to go through them, much of the feelings that you're going to experience in that time, some of them, yes, are related to the task at hand, but a lot of it comes from the past, of what happened in the past when you weren't successful. What happened, how were your relationships impacted? So they're triggered by past memories and past emotions. And for me, I really believe that the beliefs are the prequel to taking that small step. Because when your beliefs align with those small steps, then there's no need to convince yourself, because it's just part of you, because you fully believe that you are worthy of receiving, that you have all that, that you have the power, the strength, the capacity to take that small step, to make it happen, to reach your goals. There is no doubt within you. So that's why I feel that beliefs are the prequel, not just to the being, but to everything, to the doing, and to everything that you do. And when I talk about beliefs, I don't mean the beliefs like what you believe about the situation. It's more about the beliefs that you have, that you hold about yourself in relation to that situation, how you see yourself, the perception that you have of yourself, of your capacity, of what you're able to do in that situation. And we often procrastinate or become distracted or, stay stuck because of these unconscious beliefs. And some of these beliefs, for example, could be the fact that, it's not safe. It's not safe to put myself out there. It's not safe to launch this program. It's not safe to be this successful. It's not safe to grow so much. Another belief that could come up, or that I've seen it come up, is, for example, it's not okay for me to do this, because of this fear of what others are going to say, how others are going to perceive me, how this is going to impact my relationship with my husband or with my family, or how others are going to see me in my community. And this worry about, another belief that comes is, if I do this, and it's going to change my relationships. If it works out, then everything is going to be significantly altered. So obviously these are hidden beliefs. We obviously go into these business programs. We obviously enter these coaching containers with this deep, hope and belief that we want to create change. But it's these hidden beliefs that are totally foreign to us. These are the ones that keep us stuck. These are the ones that keep us from moving forward, that keep us, maybe even stuck in procrastination, or maybe, jumping from one thing to another, kind of like shiny object syndrome. And it's until you realize and until you identify what these hidden beliefs are, that you can then begin to work and use your subconscious to your favor. I'm going to give you an example of how that has looked like for me, just to give you an idea of how hidden these beliefs are. So this year, I've been working a lot on transforming my relationship with money. That was one of my big issues for this year. And it's not only the relationship that I have with money, but also on learning to receive. Since I am the main breadwinner at home, and I, for a really long time, I held on to this belief that I had to work hard to make money, and that it was my responsibility. Like, I was responsible for everybody. I carried this feeling of it's all on me. So it's me carrying the world. And it wasn't very pleasant. And basically since January up until now, I've been working a lot on receiving, deconditioning, and I've been investing in different types of coaches and healers and all different modalities. And I noticed that nothing significant was happening. Yes, I was having like some slight changes, but nothing transcendental was happening, at least not like how I was imagining it. And it wasn't until I started working on my micro beliefs, or on like uncovering these hidden beliefs, the beliefs behind these big beliefs, that I understood what was going on. And what was happening for me is that subconsciously, I wasn't allowing myself to receive, my success, my abundance. And I kept on telling my mentor, I feel it, it's there. I'm doing everything. I'm clearing my energy. I'm meditating. I'm doing hypnosis. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm doing everything. And I feel like all of this that I'm calling into my life is right there. And I don't have it quite with me yet, but I don't know what's going on. So in the work that we did together, I uncovered that what was holding me back, and what I wasn't allowing myself to receive all this abundance and prosperity, or, what I desired, because of this ingrained belief that if in fact I did become prosperous, that if I did become as abundant as I saw myself with my programs, then that would still make me the main breadwinner. And this belief, this hidden belief, felt that I didn't want to do this. I was tired. I didn't want to be the main breadwinner. And it was a conflicting, I had a conflict here of part of me wants it, the conscious mind wants it, but there's part of me, there's a little part in my subconscious that says, no, I'm not, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of taking care of everybody. That's not my role. And that goes back to, issues that I had in my childhood and whatnot. But we're not going to do that. We're not going to go there yet. So for me, subconsciously, if I stayed in my story of struggle, of, I'm not bringing in the income yet, I'm not doing this, I'm still struggling, not enough money, I have all these bills to pay. If I stayed in the story of struggle and I verbalized it, subconsciously, what I was achieving was I was kind of forcing others, my partner, to take care of me. So I would stop being the main breadwinner because I wasn't, quote unquote, making it. And I know it's twisted, but that's how my subconscious mind was processing this information. So once I found this hidden intention of why, I wasn't allowing all of this to flow into me, why I wasn't allowing things to flow easily, why I was so stuck in the struggle and so attached to the struggle. And then once I realized where this was in my chart and how it was influencing other aspects of me, then that's when I knew exactly what I needed to work on. And since then, the type of healing that I've been doing on myself has changed and altered dramatically. And this is something that I love about, training the mind, being able to work with the subconscious mind. This is something that I do with my clients as well. It's finding these secondary, kind of tiny beliefs, hidden beliefs, because that's where the real shift comes. We always go into healing containers or these transformational containers focusing on the big beliefs. Oh, I want to I want to believe that I can make 100K a month. I want to believe that I can make a successful business. I want to believe, all these big beliefs. But until we don't work on these secondary beliefs, then nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to trigger you, because again, there's going to be conflict between the new beliefs that you want to believe and these old hidden ingrained beliefs that you also have about yourself and what you believe you're capable of doing. And that's exactly the type of work that we do in Resiliency to Prosperity, one of the programs that I have for solopreneurs. So by identifying these tiny beliefs, you can take action with greater confidence, with greater courage, with feeling empowered, with the necessary drive to take that next step. And just think about the impact that your business would have, or that you would have in your business, or think about how differently you would show up in the masterminds that you participate in the different coaching containers that you would participate in, if you had these little tiny beliefs figured out. If you had your subconscious mind working in your favor instead of holding you back. So that's something that I wanted you to think about as you consider, and as you think about Gate 9 that is transiting the sun this week. So just to recap, there are 3 things that you can do with Gate 9. 1 is to focus on the next small step. That's the most immediate thing that you can do. 2, work on the beliefs that you have of yourself. And 3, this is the extra one. I feel like the next right thing that you can do is sign up for Resiliency to Prosperity, to decondition or reprogram these secondary and hidden beliefs. So yeah, those are the 3 things that you can do and how this energy might be showing up for you this week. And don't forget that I have a recalibration celebration going on right now until the end of the year. So each week you get access to a different discount. Last week, everything was at 60% off. This week, it's at 50% off. Next week is going to be 40% off, and that every week is going to have a different discount, but every single offer that I have on the table is available for these discounts. So that means all human design and Gene Keys readings, the Resiliency to Prosperity Money Edition, where we decondition and reprogram all your secondary and hidden beliefs around money, the Resiliency to Prosperity Business Edition, where the focus is on more on how you are showing up for your business, and the business alignment audits. So if you want the discount link, just send me a DM. You can find me on Instagram at andrea.transformationcatalyst, and I'll be more than gladly share it with you and share all the details around these different programs and how you can start using this in your day-to-day. And also, this is a freebie. If you want help in deconstructing these big tasks, or if you want help into how you can manage your week, I can also sit down with you, or we can have a conversation via DM, because I can gladly share my methodology with you. All right. Okay. Awesome. So it was great catching up with you. Let me know, keep me posted. Let's chat on the DMs, keep me posted on what resonated from this podcast, and keep on working on those beliefs. And I would definitely love to have you over at Resiliency to Prosperity. All right. Take care and have an amazing week.